Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Didi. If you're joining us for the first time, don't forget to like, share, comment and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first person to be notified once I drop a new video. So I'm starting a new course on C and I plan on explaining it step by step, topic by topic. Do you understand? And I want us to do it that way, so that it will not be too cumbersome or be difficult for us to understand. So I'll be taking it step by step. I'll be creating a playlist. All you need to do is just tap on the playlist and watch the videos I'll be dropping there on learning in programming in C. Okay, so and I want to play an earlier student, so I'm also learning the C too. I'm not perfect, so in a way that maybe I didn't get it somewhere or somewhere I did not get it perfectly, or you want me to explain it better for you, kindly drop your comments or your suggestion below in the comment section. Don't forget to cheer me up by liking, subscribing to my YouTube channel and sharing this video to a lot of people so that we can get views. Thank you so much. So this is the topic we'll be covering in C. We're taking introduction to C, function in C, standard library in C, control structure in C, debugging, pointers, data structure, pointers, recursion in C, command line, static libraries, and etc. So but first today I'm going to take introduction to C. So I'll be creating a playlist where I'll be taking each topic until we're able to cover it up to the last. Though this is not the last, very it's not the last. So I'm going to take it step by step procedure. So today I'll be taking you out in the introduction to C programming. During the early days, our early programmers uses to communicate with the computer is binary. You should all know that the computer understands only binary. Do you understand? So they use this binary to communicate with the computer. Okay, imagine if they want to add 3 plus 2. They'll have to write it in binary. Sorry, I'm just guessing. So I know binary has to do with 1 and 0. And imagine if I want to type in a whole sentence, a whole calculation, a whole program, and everything. The computer will have to write it in binary. You have to convert each of them to binary and write them each in binary. That's no, I'll give up. Someone like me, I'll give up. So that's why they were able to come up together, put heads together, and they developed assembly language. Then after some time, they developed C. And C was developed by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Laboratories in 1972. Okay, some people always make this mistake by saying that C is a high-level language because of the fact that it has this control structures, function, data types, and standard library. While others say it's low, it's a low-level language because we can manipulate the memory spaces and allocate memories in C and everything. But actually, C is both low and a high-level language. So I categorize it as a middle-level language because you can allocate memory in C. You can just read through this to understand it better. So it's a middle-level language. I don't know if I'm cleared. Okay, now I'm going to be going into the features of C. Okay, we have number 1 is simple. Do you understand? Okay, imagine if we are using the normal machine language and we want to type something like hello world. We're going to write this thing in binary. We're going to write H, you have its own binary, E will have its own binary, L will have its own binary, and so on. Now if you want to calculate something like 5 times 10, it's going to be like 5 has its own binary, 10 has its own binary, and that's like a whole long of process. But this time you just have to write 5 plus 10. I don't know if you understand. You just write 5 plus 10. So the second thing here on my list is pointers. You can interact with the memory by using pointers. As we go on, as we touch in pointers, you understand what I mean by interact with the memory. We can allocate spaces and we can use pointers too. Now the next thing is case sensitive. You can't when you're naming your variable or initializing your variable. When you're initializing your variable, you're using something like hi, and then when you want to call in your variable, maybe your code, you use something like this. It won't work. Do you understand? If I say something like int hi, meaning is equal, okay, let me assign it to 8 so for better understanding. Let me assign 8 to 8. So meaning anywhere I'm going to write this hi, anywhere I want this 8 to work for me, I must use capital H and small letter I. I want to use hi. It won't work. Do you understand? So as we take in the course step by step, you understand it better. Now the next thing is portable, is middle level programming language. As I explained earlier, it's structured programming language. It's not something you just write. It is structured step by step. We'll be taking the structure very soon. And so it's memory management. It supports this dynamic memory allocation. And also as we go, when we talk about memory allocation, you understand more about this memory management, the malloc, the calloc, and so on. Then the function, which libraries, and also extensibility. Now, the next thing I want to talk about now is the structure of C, because I have a notes here. Okay, the first one is documentation. If you want to write C, okay, I want to create this. Okay, I have an example here. This is how documentation feels like. So there's something we call comments. If you want to write a program now, you have to use your comments. Do you understand? Okay, this first dash, backslash, and asterisk, double asterisk, and one asterisk for each of your documents you're going to write. You can also use double backslash to write your comments, but in most cases they normally use this the backslash, asterisk, double asterisk, then asterisk, asterisk, asterisk if you want to write multiple like you normally use it when you want to write multiple comments. Do you understand? Okay, so after your documentation, the next thing is your link, or you can call it your header. Okay, now I need to rewrite it, that way you understand it better. If I want to write if I want to start my program, if I want to write maybe a program that prints F, the first thing I should write is my header, hashtag include, then stdio.h. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm writing here. So this is exactly how the first thing you should do is to write include libraries. And I'm going to be explaining this. So as I said, the first thing you want to do, if you want to type in your code, the first I want to print a code that maybe says print hello world, for instance. So the first thing you should write is include stdio. So I'm going to be explaining some of the libraries. So the first one is stdio, which is the standard input and output header file. Okay, if you're going to use if you're going to be using hashtag stdio, that means you want to use the print F, the scan F, the F get, the F open, F close, F write, and F read. You can also have the butcher and the puts and so forth, so on and so forth. So that's when you use hashtag include stdio. But if I want to work with malloc, calloc, reload, that's when we talk about the dynamic memory. I just want to work with it alone. That's when I'll just write std lib.h. I don't need to write stdio.h if I will not be adding this. But if I'm going to be using two, then I'm going to use hashtag include stdio.h. Do you understand? So if you did if you're doing LOS, if you understand that there are sometimes we use this double quote instead of this angle brackets. If you want to include our main.h, stdio, we have the stdio, then we use the main.h if you want to use the double quote. So I'm going to explain why we do that. Okay, when we use this double quote, it means that the file we are trying to link is our own standard library, like we created that library. Do you understand? Because if you notice, we just do vi to main.h, right? Then we now put in the prototypes we want to put in there, right? Then we now link it using includes then we now use hashtag include to link it. Do you understand? To link it. But these ones with the angle brackets are the ones that are in C. They are the standard library directories in C. Do you understand? But the one with the one we created ourselves, we did the whole creation ourselves, is the one we use the curly brackets so that you don't have issues. So as I was saying, we also have the math.h, as I explained earlier, which is a mathematical function. Here we have the square root, the power, which is the power with the sine, constant, float, cell, and round. We have the string.h if we want to talk about the string length, the string copy, the string cut, the is we have this C type. We want to talk about the is alpha, is digits, total. This is we get to it very soon. And we have the time.h. So if you want to include all this when you're working, for instance, you're going to use free at some time, you're going to use print F in your work, sometimes you're going to use strln, you're going to use the Torah, or this alpha, you're going to use time, then you're going to include all the libraries. Do you understand? In your work here, you're going to include all the libraries, include so that way you're able to link everything you want to work on. Do you understand? Now the next thing again is after we have written the include, sorry, let me write it down. Include, you're working with just print F because you want to print something. Okay, so to the screen, that's why it's called standard input. You're giving to the computer to print it out for you. Do you understand? Now the next thing again is definition. Do you understand? Okay, there's something called constants in C. Do you understand? There's something called constants in C. I'm going to show you an example here now, and I'm going to explain it. Okay, this place they wrote define. Let me bold it. Define bond 2000. Okay, it means that in any way I'm writing my code, and all my code, once I write bond, do you understand, it's going to automatically be replaced with 2000. So it means I initialized my 2000 to bond in all the code. Anywhere, if I'm still working with my the same file and everything, anywhere I call on 2000, anywhere I call on bond 2000 will be replaced by the preprocessor, which I'm going to be explaining later on. Do you understand? So that's why you write your define. So in case you want to maybe in somewhere you're going to be maybe needing a constant, maybe you're working in mathematics and you want your pi to be 3.14, So I've initialized my pi 3.14 here, and is my constant. Anywhere I write pi 3.14 will be replaced. The next to be global is global declaration. Okay, I'm going to be explaining the global declaration. I'm going to be showing you an example here. So after explaining this, I'm going to be writing a simple, oh my god, okay, let me write it back. Define, let me use pi 3.14. Okay, don't forget what I said about say case this thing. Okay, so the define there is just it's telling the pi, okay, oh, this is your work. Doesn't mean if you want to call it on your code you use define pi. No, if you're calling it on your code, just use pi, the capital P and I. Don't use small letter, maybe small letter P and capital I. It won't work. Do you understand? Then the next thing again is global declaration, which is this place I'm going to be showing you here. So this is global declaration. I'm going to be explaining what the global declaration means. Now, when it comes to declaring a variable, we have two types of declaring a variable. Okay, this thing they did here now, I can come here and declare my variable. So I'm doing int, small letter, hi, equal to 10. So it means from this place, this curly bracket also works when you're writing your code. It means this hi here only works within this curly brackets. I don't know if you understand. This hi here is working just within this curly brackets. Okay, but when we do global declaration, we are declaring it here where you say highlighted, means it's also working for this and this. Do you understand? Even if you write another int, it's still working for it till you're done. Do you understand? Anyway, I write int h. Okay, I know you might be saying, okay, what's the difference between global declaration and define? Okay, define, I'm defining hi to be 3.14, right? I don't have it. It doesn't have, hi does not have a data type. A pi doesn't have data type. Do you understand? And when I mean the data type, which I'm going to be explaining later, which are the int, the char, and so on, it doesn't have a data type, so I'm not declaring anything there, right? But when you're talking about declaring a variable, you're having a data type, you're having the name of your data type, and you're now assigning it a variable. Do you understand? So the data type here is int, the name is hi, and I'm assigning 10 to it. Do you understand? So that's how it works. You get? So let's continue. I hope you guys understood the difference between global declaration and the local declaration. You're declaring it outside of your int main is global declaration. You're declaring it inside the int main is a global declaration, local declaration. So after the global declaration, the next thing is your main.phi. So let me do my global declaration. I can say int user is equal to 24. Okay, I've declared. Then the main function. Okay, your codes after your hashtag include your library, your code will now start running from your main. You can write it this way. You can write it void. Anyway, you write it. Then after you now put in your curly bracket indicates, okay, this is where your code bracket is starting from. This is where it's ending. You understand? This is where your statement is started from. This is where your statement ends. Do you get? Okay, so then you put in your curly bracket. This is where your code now starts. You now start putting in your codes, whatever you want. And if you want to print the name of someone, you can use print f brackets. Print f brackets. Then, hello world. Then if you want a new line, the normal way of adding new line is this way. This is how we add a new line to our code. Sorry, I'm looking for you must always add this. Don't forget to add your semicolon. Don't forget the must. This is the format of writing. Then you now return 0. Do you understand? Then okay, this is your code. This is a command. This is a code. Okay, then you might be wondering why I did not use the pi, the int user. I'm not writing a big code. I just want to show you guys how to use the curly bracket and everything, the int main and how it works. Now the next question, the next stuff we have is sub programs. Okay, I'm going to be showing you guys sub programs. I'm going to be using this example to explain sub programs to you all. Now if you notice here, now we have two curly brackets. Do you understand? We have the one here, we have here the one here. So you can put it here so that you guys understand it better. We have two curly brackets. As I said, the curly bracket indicates the beginning and ending of your code, right? Now we have the int main and the int h. Okay, so the first one is your code, the second one is your sub program. But they are all they're all working together to do to perform one program, one function for you. Do you understand? But they are written in different prototypes, different functions, and let me put it that way. But they are all working together. Do you understand? So that's why it's called sub program. Do you understand? So this is how you write a code. This is the standard of writing a code on C, using C. Once you write a code on C, the first one is your hashtag inclusive. This is the most compulsory. The hashtag define is if maybe you want to work with constant. If you don't want to work with constant, it's not necessary. The int user is if you want to declare a global declaration, is not necessary. Is depending on what the user wants to work with. The int main void is necessary, is important for your work. The curly bracket is important for your work. And don't forget to use comments, because the work of comments is to tell someone that's reading your file, okay, see what, okay, imagine if I just wrote all this thing without using all this place to show you global declaration, main, the link, and all this. You look at the code, might not be able to understand the sub program and everything, might not be able to understand, okay, what was she writing, what she not writing. So the comments helps the user or whoever that's checking your code to understand what you're writing. Do you understand? Okay, so that's how as I said earlier, we have two types of comments. You have this, I can write comments like this. Documentation, and I can also write like this. Documentation, mention. Make sure it's aligning. Okay, just use a line. Then if you want to close your code, if you want to close your comment, you use this to close your comments. So these are comments. The first one is if you want to make a straight line comments, and the second one is if you want to have a lot of things. Maybe you want to write something, want to write a lot of explanations. You use this second one to write your comments. Okay, so that being said, that's it on explanation today, on our class today on introduction to C. I was able to explain the introduction to C, the features of C, the structures of C, the libraries and the prototypes in C. Okay, so next class I'll be teaching you guys compiling process in C. Okay, that's been said, thank you so much for listening and watching this video. I so much appreciate your time. And don't forget, when I said I'm still learning and I'm also teaching, so in case you have any way you want to correct me, or maybe you have something you want to chip in, don't forget to drop it on the comment section. And don't forget, I love you all so much, and see you guys in my next class. Bye.